Hello and good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to High End Rollers TV. And this is episode number 7. Today, I'm really excited to be speaking to Detola because we're going to be speaking about an issue that I know affects so many women in business, and that is work-life balance. We're going to be answering the question, does work-life balance actually exist? And how women in business, how can we actually achieve work-life balance? So I'm going to introduce Detola. Now, Detola is a productivity mentor, and she is the founder of Super Working Moms Academy. She is an author. She is a speaker. She has appeared on television. She has created this amazing journal, which is called Living Amazed, which we're going to talk about later. Basically, the question is, Detola, what don't you do and what can't you do? So welcome. We are so excited to be speaking to you. And so let's just dive in then. We're going to be talking about work-life balance. But first, share with us exactly how you actually started in your business and why you actually started Super Working Mom. That's a good start.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Petra, for having me on your show. I'm really honored to be here. So thank you for that. Right, so how did I start my business? Wow, it's a long story, but I'll keep it short. I remember that I'd always loved to write and I'd always loved to blog. And I basically, when I got married, everything was fine. My life was still intact. And then I had my daughter. And then my world basically changed. I'm like, oh gosh, I have this little child I have to take care of. For some reason, I kind of lost my mojo for everything else. I just felt I had to spend my time with this baby. I had to take care of her. And I didn't have the energy for anything else. And I knew that wasn't me. Like, I knew that I was born for more. And so I basically started a blog just to talk about my journey as a new mom and how I was juggling life and how I lost my confidence and how I got it back. So I was basically sharing, all of that. And then in 2013, when I was pregnant with my son, I got laid off work. I was told to leave, like budget. I was a contractor and I was told there wasn't any budget for my role. And that really shook me. I went into depression for about 2 weeks. Yeah. And then at the end of, when I got to the end of my last role, that's when I felt God telling me it was time to actually move Super Working Mom, which was just a blog then, into a business and basically help other women who were going through something similar to me, who knew they were born for more. They didn't know how to go about it. They were stuck in a 9-to-5 job that they didn't really like because they had to pay bills, but then there was much more out there for them to do. So yeah, that's how I started. That's the short story of how I started my business.
That's the short version. That's brilliant. And you have literally built a lucrative and successful business, and its beginnings were in a blog. So tell us, you're a married woman, you have 2 children. Are they under the age of 10, I think?
Yes, so my daughter's 6 and my son just turned 3. Yeah.
So there are so many women out there that have businesses, that have husbands, that have children, and and they wonder how they can do all of it. How can they maintain a work-life balance? And for me, I'm married, I don't have any children, but when I first started in my business, I found it very, very difficult to maintain a work-life balance, because I found that I was quite neglecting my husband. I didn't spend that much time with him. My thoughts was always about my business. I was on my computer all the time. And then I realized something really had to change. So, you're the expert on maintaining that work-life balance. So how do women start to do that?
Okay, so the first thing I would like to do is dispel the myth of work-life balance. Yeah. Because everyone talks about work-life balance. But think about it. When you think of, balance, you're thinking of 2 things. So let's assume, I don't know if you can see my pants. This is work and this is life. So it's like work-life balance, right? But there's much more to life than work-life balance. So just like you said, there's work, there's life, there's marriage, there's children. That's, there's so much more. So if you're there trying to juggle 2 things, there's so many things flying up in the air that you're not touching, so many balls that you're dropping, your friends, like you said, your marriage, your children. So I think, we need to shift our thinking from just work-life balance. So actually living something I call a blended life. So it's, every aspect of your life, but then there's a catch. Something has to be in the middle holding it up. So think about the London Eye. You know how the London Eye is? There's something in the middle that holds the eye together. So for me, I'm a Christian, and the thing that holds me in the middle is God, you know, Jesus. He's in the center. And what I've come to realize is that when he's in the center, he's directing me and saying, okay, we're not doing too good in this department. What can we do to make sure that the marriage department is still intact while you're still running this amazing business? That's one thing I want to teach my ladies, that you can have, you know, a very good marriage. You can still be a good parent, an amazing parent, and you can still have a successful business. So it's all about living a blended life, but it has to be a life that is surrendered to what God is calling you to do. Because what tends to happen is we're chasing so many things we're not supposed to be chasing. And that's when the overwhelm comes in. That's when, you know, the whole, oh God, I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling tired. And that's because it's like God's created you to do this thing, but you're busy doing something else, busy doing all these other things because of, I don't know, whatever. So, yeah. So I am more, you know, even though I used to call myself the work-life strategist, but in recent times, with spending more time with, you know, God and knowing what he's called me to be, I've realized that he's asking me to actually live a surrendered life where I can blend in so many things. And we can discuss more about that.
That's that. You know, I've never heard of the term blended life, and I think it's a really good way of looking at it, because, you know, as a woman, especially when you've got children and you've got a partner, you almost feel guilty for working on your business. You know, women can feel very guilty thinking that, you know, they're spending this time on their business where they should be, you know, spending it with their children. I mean, I had a friend who was a business owner some years back, and because she was spending so much time with her in her business, she actually forgot her child's birthday. Yeah, it was really sad. I mean, she was devastated. She was in tears. She forgot her birthday, and, you know, it's a sad thing to do that. And I think that as women, I mean, what do you think about, you know, work? For me, I think that it's about working when you have to work, and then just set that time aside to work, and then set that time to do your business or whatever it is that you need to do to generate money.
Yeah, so it's about boundaries. It's about boundaries. And one of the things I teach my ladies is actually having a schedule and saying, okay, this is my work time. So, you know, when you go off to work, if you work in a 9-to-5 job, it's easy to have that clear boundaries. But when you're working at home, it's not easy to have those boundaries. But you have to put those boundaries in place and say, okay, between the hours of 9 to 3, when my child is in school, I would work. Or if I have a toddler, maybe I get, you know, find those hours that you can work and make sure you're working during those hours. And the hours where you say, okay, I'm going to be spending with my children, the phone is off. Sometimes I'm guilty of it. My daughter's like, Mom, you're on your phone. You're not listening. I'm like, okay.
But when your daughter do videos, I'm sure I've seen her do a few videos.
Yeah, exactly. She's already, in fact, I got her to do a video for me the other day when I wasn't feeling too fine. So she's already, I'm grooming her, you know, but it's actually been intentional and saying, okay, this time is for the family, and this time is for business. It's hard, you know, like I said, I also struggle sometimes, but it's doable. It is doable. Yeah.
You know, I love that you speak to your clients about that, because that's something that I speak to my clients about also. You know, the women that I work with, you know, a lot of them are married, and, you know, sometimes their husbands aren't very supportive of their business either. So, you know, they'll kind of keep working with me a bit quiet from their husbands. And so what I help them to do as well is, yes, they want to enroll high-end clients, but it's really important just to spend that time with your partner as well, just to let him know that, you know, he's needed.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
really important. And you talk about blended life, and it's about blending him also in with your business. So speak about it with him, you know, let him know what's going on with your business. And just like you, incorporate your children into your business as well.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
So can you give us some tips of how we can actually create a blended life? I love it, you know. So because the thing is, work-life balance, you know, it might not really exist. What might exist is this whole blended life of, you know, communicating with your children and your partner, having scheduled times with them, scheduling, you know, when you're working, when you're not working. Can you share with us some boundaries that women can actually put in place to ensure that they have a blended life?
Okay, so the first thing that I think every woman, whether you are a woman of faith or not, is you need to wake up early and start your day before everyone else wakes up.
Yes.
And I know it's tough, and so I used to call myself the queen of sleep. I would wake up. I would literally set my alarm to wake up for like 6 and snooze it all the way till 7 o'clock. And then at 7, I jump out of bed and I'm like a crazy woman rushing around screaming at everybody. But until I realized that, okay, I can't keep doing this. And then I started waking up before my family to set the tone of my day. In fact, from the night before, decide what I'm going to be doing the following day, so that that's already my subconscious mind. Wake up, and my journal, I've got my journal here as well. This keeps me, as in, it's, when I designed this journal, I knew that even though it was for me, I knew that a lot of women were going to benefit from it. And this basically keeps me, that's it, right? It keeps me going. So the first thing is wake up early, to spend time with God, to say, okay, God, what are we doing today? Because you might have your own agenda, but God is saying, okay, this is what we're going to do today. And then in there, as we have where you can list 3 things you're grateful for. Yes. So you're already in an atmosphere of, gratitude. You're already, I'm not sure if it's clear from there, but, you're listing 3 things that you're grateful for. And then the other thing is you're also listing the things you want to accomplish that day. What I always tell my ladies is that the one thing that causes overwhelm is trying to cramp in too much into your day. It's like, you're just stuffing it all in. I want to do everything today. No, you can't do everything in one day. So I always say, take your 5 MITs, your most important tasks, 5, and if you can, drill it down to 3.
I like
and
that.
say, you know what?
I like that.
Yes.
I'm going to use
I know. Yeah, someone came out. I can't remember who, so that's not my original phrase. Someone, I can't remember who. But yeah, they call it MITs. Most important task of the day. Write that down and say, okay, I'm not going to get this. So this is during your business hours. And say, this is my boundary, my time for business. Get those, write it down and say, this is what I'm going to focus on. If there's some other things so what I call it is, I actually, in my academy, I call it the must do's, the should do's, and cool do's. So your must do's are those ones that you want to do that day. And this is already, you're already talking to God and asking him, okay, God, what are we doing today? If there's time, then you can go on to the should do's. If there's time, you could go on to the cool do's, but trust me, there's never time to go on to the cool do's. So that could move on till the next day. So starting with that and saying, this is what I want to accomplish today in my business. And I'm sure you talk to your ladies about making sure you're focusing on income generating activities, because another thing that tends to happen is sometimes we know what we need to do, but because it's either, we're scared or there's too much, so we end up going to do all these other things.
That's right.
And leave the movie, but we need to get to that. And that's why, we need a community where people are encouraging you, and that's one thing we do in the academy, where we on Mondays we list down the things we want to achieve for the week and say, okay, this is what I want to be accountable for, and by Friday or Saturday you're giving accounts and say, yeah, I got it done, this is what I struggled with, and all of that. Accountability is key. So I think, I'm not sure if I'm answering the question, but
you are.
Yeah, my first is that make sure that you wake up before the family. And I know that sometimes the children would, sometimes my son will wake up when I do, or wake up a few minutes after. I always put him back in bed. And then I do something. This might sound a bit weird. It might sound a bit weird, but actually, ask God to send the angels to rock him back to sleep so he doesn't disturb my time. That always works. They could try that. Yeah, I know. So, or when I'm doing my exercises and they wake up, I tell them, okay, sit down and watch mommy, or you can do your exercise at the side, because sometimes we can't avoid these things. The child might wake up early, or there's a sick child. We have to be flexible. But at the same time, have it all written down. If it's not written down, it's not going to get done. So have a schedule that you follow on a daily basis. Be flexible. Things might come up. A child might be sick, or a friend might need your help or something. Be flexible. But because you've written it down, you can always come back and say, right, where was I? And then continue from where you stopped. So there are lots more, but I think that's the main important one. Waking up early to plan your day, to start your day and say, what am I focusing on today? Yeah.
That is brilliant. And you're also teaching your children as well. You're taking your son back to bed. That isn't something I've heard before. So, you're training your children how to grow, basically, and how they are to blend in with your life as well. And I think that's brilliant. I really love the thought of having a blended life. So the way that you've talked about that is, so you're saying that women can have it all. Then women in business can be excellent moms. They can be excellent wives, and they can also build a profitable business, just like how you have done.
Yeah. Yes. You want me to expand on that, right? Yeah. So we always have that question: can women have it all? Can women have it all? And I will say yes. I think women can have it all, but it all depends on what your all is. Because, like I said, most of us are either chasing bright, shiny objects, or we're comparing ourselves to the woman down the street who drives the Mac and lives in a 5-bed house. There's nothing wrong with having material things, don't get me wrong. But then what is your all? How are you going to know what your all is? I think the only way you can know what your all is, first of all, go back to the person who designed you. And you know how people always say, we were born here, we were born for a reason? Most people think about it on a general scale. But I think about it, Petra, you were actually born for a particular reason, a specific reason.
Yes.
Until you look at it that way, you might think, oh yeah, we're born for a reason, But if I look at it, Detola was born for a specific reason. Have I found my specific reason for why I was born?
Wow.
If I have, am I walking in line with that call? So that's where your all comes in. What is your all? What is your all? What is that all? Do you see what I mean?
I do.
You can't have it all. But what is your all? Are you chasing someone else's all? Are you chasing society's all and saying, oh, you must have everything? I believe that every woman, we're all at different seasons. So if you're just a new mom, I don't expect you, this is just me, to say, okay, I've just had this new baby. I just got out of the hospital and I'm running to America. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
We all have different seasons. So if you just had a new baby, your season is to take care of that baby and do what you can around your baby, as little as you can, because your attention is going to go to the new baby. But you might be at a season where your children are out of the house, they're all gone, and you can do much more. So it's about seasons. It's about knowing what your all is, what your purpose is, and if you're walking in line with that purpose.
Wow. Everything that you're saying with is just aligning with my belief system as well, because as a woman, you do have to know your all. And, just like you, I believe that God has given us a specific purpose. And I do believe that all women, all men as well, every single one of us are born with the very, very specific answer to a very specific problem.
A good problem, exactly.
And then what I find as well, especially with my community, my audience, the people that I serve, is that when they know exactly what they want, when they know exactly what their purpose is, and, they are basically doing everything in order to achieve that, that's when they get that success. That's when they can integrate their husbands. That's when they can integrate their children. Have that blended life and have everyone in the household in agreement.
Exactly. It always amazes me when people go, oh, Detola, how do you do everything you do? You write, you do retreats, you've created a journal. And at first I used to go, but then I actually sat down and thought about it. The only reason I'm able to do all of that is because that is what I'm spending my time doing. It's not extra. It's not like something extra on the side. This is my life.
That's right.
This is what I am doing. So it's not an extra thing that I'm adding on to my life. This is what I do on a daily basis. So that's how I get to do what I get to do.
That is, and that's beautiful, because as an entrepreneur, this is our life. You know, we're doing what we're born to do.
Yeah.
We do this because we love what we do, and
Yeah.
we have a passion for what we do, and this is our life as an entrepreneur and as a woman in business. This has been brilliant, Detola. Thank you so much. You've given me a lot to think about as well. What I'm going to do is be sure to put all of your links below. Okay, you know, of the book, of the Super Working Mom Academy, all of that good stuff, so that you can actually connect with Detola online. But before we go, what I want to ask you, Detola, is, are you ready to roll?
Yes. I think. I'm not sure. Is that a trick question? But I am. Like, where's the party? Yeah, let's roll.
Yes. This is the section of the call, Detola, where I'm going to ask you short, quick questions, and you just give me back your quick fire answers. Okay? Very, very simple. Just very quick and short. Okay? So the first one is, what is your favorite book?
Oh dear, The Shack.
The Shack. Okay.
Yeah. By, what's his name now? I can't remember his name. Oh gosh, his name skipped my mind. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What would you say is your weakness being an entrepreneur? Or as an entrepreneur?
Trying to help everybody.
Oh yes, I think that's a woman thing as well, to be fair. What would you say your strength is?
Ooh, my strength is to motivate, to kick butt.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm very determined.
Yes, you are. And that's one thing I do know about you. You do work hard, but not just hard. You work very smartly and very, very diligently as well. And you're very consistent.
Yes, that's another thing. I think, yeah, I am consistent.
You are.
Thank God.
So what is it? What is the one thing in your business that you couldn't do without?
My phone, I think.
Yep.
I can't do it on my phone.
And what is your favorite quote?
Oh gosh. Oh, I have so many. Now you. The one I've been chanting recently is, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength.
Lovely. Okay. So that is wonderful. Thank you so much for this brilliant and for opening our minds to the blended life. That's what it's about, is having that blended life. Now, where can we find you online?
Ooh, so you can find me on my website, which is www.superworkingmom.com, or on Facebook, facebook.com/superworkingmom. So anywhere you find Superworking Mom, that's me.
You also have a Facebook group, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do have a Facebook group. It's called Superworking Mom. So that's where we basically share motivation, encouragement, and what else? Yeah, basically just get women together to support each other. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm going to put all those links below, and thank you so much, Detola, and thank you as well for watching. And be sure to subscribe to this channel, give us the thumbs up, and also comment below about what you think about the blended life. Okay, and I'll see you next week in the next video. Bye bye.